Okay, so here's the door. That's the side of the furniture, and I have to mount this one onto that one using this element. I'm holding it with my hand. This is not an easy job. I have to adjust it from below because it has to be at a certain height. Now insert this one here. Oopsie. There. And the door is pushed all the way to the right, and this small part is pushed all the way to the left. There. Now make a mark here in the lower one. I will place it in the center of that one because I must adjust it up or down later, maybe. Okay, so that's the top hinge, and start with the top one so that the door can hang down. Now get the drill and make a small hole, 1/2 centimeter or something like that. You don't see much from that angle. Too low. So there's the mark, there's another mark. Just a 1/2 centimeter. 1/2 centimeter deep. Okay, now let's take this one and 2 screws. Insert them there. Try to use a manual tool here. At least for adjusting. Okay, so at this point you can see it is moving up and down. So this is the height adjustment, and I won't tighten it too much right now. I will place it in the middle somewhere. It's still moving. Now I can attach the door. That's it. And tighten this one. Okay, the door is not falling down. Now let's check down there. It should be flush, this lower part with this lower part, and it's not, so I will push it up with my hand, and that creates a movement here. So it should be somehow like this, and I will tighten it here. Okay. And only this hinge is attached, the other one is not attached, but let's try it. That's the other one, which is making a noise. It's pretty okay. So let's make this one also. Let's start with the pencil. Push it to the left and the door to the right. Okay, now make a sign there in the middle. And drill the hole. Just 1/2 centimeter, not more. Okay, let's try the other end. This one. Okay, it tightened this one on the right side. That one is holding the entire door, so without that one it's moving. Oops, it's pushing it away. That's not good. I mean, this part is coming out. That means that this part is not attached. Now it's attached. Now, I already felt some friction here. That might mean that the door is way too close to the side, but let's see. It seems okay. So this part is stopping the door, and the lower one, I will attach a piece of rubber there, those round small elements. Okay, so let's flush it in one line, but if you need to push the door to the right, top part or the lower part, then you should play around with this one. Let's see. If you unscrew it, the door goes inside. I mean, that way to the left, and it's not flush already. It's sticking out. Okay, and let's try it in the reverse direction. Now I'm rotating it to the right and see the difference. Now it's going that way. It's still opening and closing. Okay, so let's rotate it back to the left. You can see it even here that it's moving. No, it's too much. It's not even closing. Make sure this one is tight, because otherwise the door will fall off. No, it's okay. You have to add the door handle also. And one door is finished, almost. We need the handles. So from this angle it looks like this. So when it's closed, then it's flush with the side, and then it goes to the interior to the right, and the exterior is not flush with the left side. So the door is slightly in the interior, but mostly to the left. And from the inside, there's a very small hole there, and then it disappears. Okay, there is some light there, so it's very close, but it's not in friction with the side. Okay, so I mounted the second door, and as you can see, it's not closing. That's because here the margin is smaller and there is larger. Okay, so let's see how to adjust it. Here there's a distance, and on the bottom there is no distance. So let's open it. Plus that noise. So here is in contact the door with the side. So let's move it a little bit outside. Let's unscrew this one. Now let's move it outside a little bit, that way, and then screw it in, tighten it. Okay, so that is fixed. There's no contact down here anymore. Okay, now let's see the other part. There's no door hinge yet, so we should send this door, the lower part, to the right side. So I'm turning it to the left, and it's moving the door to the right side when you watch it from the front. So it is better. It's closing, but there's still a large gap there, and it's pretty tight here. The side is okay, so maybe I should adjust the other one also. So here the door is to the right, and here is flush, so I have to move this door's lower part to the exterior. This one is not closing. Okay, we have to take a look at that one also. So let's send this door outside. Let's see. Yes, so unscrew it. Let's send it outside. Now it's closing, but not totally. There's still a larger gap up here, so maybe we should move this one to the right a little bit. So let's move it to the right. Yes. Now the distance looks pretty even, maybe just a slightly more, a little bit more. Okay, so that's fine. Now this one is higher, that one is lower. That can be adjusted from the screws, so we have to undo this and that, and this and that. I'm holding the door also from below. Now it's moving. Now do the same up here also. I'm using the LCD as a tripod. Unscrew this one. Now it's moving up and down. So I'm going to close it. And it's pretty good. So I will leave it that way. So I will tighten it here. Don't unscrew and screw in those too many times because it's wood and it will become loose. Now here I will raise the door just a little bit so that the upper hinge won't take all the load, and then tighten it. The height is still not perfect. Okay, maybe I should adjust the other one. Raise it a little bit. Then maybe this one is too outside. There's some friction here in the middle, I think. Okay, so I fixed the friction of this door by sanding it to the outside a little bit. Undo this screw and bring it out. Okay, but here's another problem. The doors are not closing exactly, so I can still push them. That can be fixed by bringing this one to the inside this way, that is pushing this one away to the right. That will make the door close tighter, but it will also bring the door to the inside. So as we can see, this is pretty closed. It's in contact, but that one is not in contact. And the distance is very low. So let's try it here also. To the right. Now it's it's closing well, but there's friction between the two doors. Both of them are closed, but the gap is too low. So let's undo it a little bit. To the left, slightly to the left. It's still closing, and it's closing. Okay, so the gap is very small, but at least they are closed. They are almost in one line. There's a larger gap, smaller in the middle, larger down there. That's interesting. Okay, so this hinge and the other one is mounted, but there's a difference. As you can see, the distance here is smaller, this distance, and here is larger, it's around double. Why is that? That is because this shaft has to have some distance so I can take it out. Whereas this one has no restriction. I could have put it even higher if I wanted to, but that's it. Okay, here's an interesting thing related to those hinges. If you take a look from inside, as you can see, there is a gap, and that gap is there because This portion of the metal is not flush with this one. So this one is in contact with the side, and that's why it's not closing it perfectly.